Bows and bow ties, what's up? Sitting in the car while my daughter is practicing, so this is a late night for us. So I figured, why not just go live? Wrote a quick couple of notes down. So this is not going to be in any sort of real kind of, I guess, order, but yeah, so over the last few days or week or whatever, there's been the whole scandal, the drama surrounding Ime Udoka, and I don't really care. Like, I'm beginning to think that I'm just flat out getting old because I don't really care that much. I mean, it's merely anecdotal to me. And there's a few reasons why. Number one, what I don't like, okay, so I'm going to be kind of like biased. Number one, but I'm let me rephrase that. I'm going to be splitting the fence. One, I don't care because number one, even though he wasn't married, he was still just one big fat cheater. I don't care if the relationships were consensual or not. He was unfaithful. And so all that does is just reinforce all the negative stereotypes surrounding men who look like me. Do I think all of them act like this? No. But, men, I would say men in general, when they are in powerful positions, I don't care what color you are, I think when you have access to power and finances, who you really are is what you're going to, that gets exposed. It just amplifies. So him, doing what he did, it was just flat out bad. It was just wrong anyway. But I mean, who hasn't done it? I'm not condoning it either way. I'm just kind of like, many people, players, coaches, executives, they're doing whatever the heck they want to do. So for me, I was just kind of like, why is this newsworthy, until I heard some of the other stuff. But I still don't care that much. Meaning, I don't know if all of a sudden this was no longer consensual. But what I will say is, it's just grimy to do the dirt that you're doing in your own backyard. You're going to the bathroom in the same place where you eat. It's basically what it is. So if you're messing with some of the execs or VP's wife or whatever, I'm like, why? As many TNAs that are floating around, you know what I mean? Like, as much, booty you can get or whatever, like, why did you have to do that? So I just kind of feel like cheating is cheating, but it was just even more just like, then there's all these stories that there's multiple women and people, I guess, felt forced. I don't know. But I just kind of feel like this is the thing. I don't know if it's true. I don't believe in victim blaming. But honestly, in this era where there's Me Too has been exploited, I'm just at the point where I'm like, you know what? I don't know what's true. And there is a history of women who like to imitate people, okay, or get people in trouble. So all of a sudden people will claim, oh, this wasn't consensual. So I just kind of feel like we've seen this, women will cry, me too. Heck, we got people crying out stuff even when you can't even go bird watching in New York. So you had the Amy Cooper situation. So I just feel like at this point, I don't know what's true. I don't know how much I care. I just feel like you knew what you were doing anyway. But I'll say this. Is it fair that there are men who don't look like him who do many treacherous things and they don't get bombed out? Of course it's not fair. It's rather unjust. But this is the thing that I would like to say for homie. I think that he thought he could behave like somebody who doesn't look like him. I think he thought that he was invincible or untouchable. And so, people get brand new and they forget. They lose sight of certain things. And so I'm not saying that he should get any more backlash than anybody else, but I feel like this. At the end of the day, you still did a bad thing. So you'll have men who will get out here and they'll want to say like, oh, well, these didn't do it. I'm like, but it doesn't negate the fact that he did something bad. Just because there's a group of people who don't necessarily face the same backlash in general, it doesn't mean that what he did was right. So I kind of feel like, within the confines of the society we live in, two people can commit the same crime, but there are people who look like you. It's going to be a little lenient. Okay, I mean, it is what it is. It's not going to be just. They're going to judge you, somebody like Ime Udoka. Look, and he's got like 500 letters, like vowels in his name, so it doesn't sound American. I say that with earmarks. So you already know that people are going to judge you differently. Okay, your last name doesn't sound like Walker or Williamson or Broadley. I'm just making up names, right? It's Ime Udoka. Okay, so we're gonna call a thing a thing. Now, you knew that when you stepped out there on these coaching streets in Boston with your name having all those vowel sounds, that did not sound like a typical American or North American name. So I just kind of feel like you have to stop. I feel like men who are out here in these streets who look like me, I think they forget that, look, you're going to be judged by a different standard. It is not just. But nevertheless, not last, less, I feel like at the end of the day, just because the punishment is not like just, doesn't mean that, you shouldn't be held accountable. He still committed a bad act. And I feel like there are a lot of men out here who look like me will co-sign like the bad behavior because other people were able to get away with it. I'm like, well, why would we still co-sign the bad behavior? Like, do better. Have standards for yourself. But then, my buddy CBR kid a couple of days ago brought up a good point. He's like, hey, you have whole billionaires who were held accountable. I can't remember the guy's name. Remember the guy who had to sell his franchise? Yes, for making racial slurs and stuff like that. So what makes Ime Udoka think that he can get away with like just boning everybody? They made a billionaire sell his franchise. So I want to know, who do you think you are? So I see these men out here getting caught by certain types of women, and I don't want to make this a racial thing, but I gotta call a thing a thing. So I'm like, they need to stop. You keep going after a certain type of woman. I'm not going to even say racial type. It just so happens that many of them happen to be white. But I'm like, and then as soon as people get caught, oh no, it's been, I just felt like I was forced or something along those lines. Heck, Christian, whatever his name is, Abunselli, he was like basically, now he's on the other side of the green grass. He's not on this side. That chick, I don't even remember the chick's name, got rid of him. So anyway, I'm like, it's the same type of things that happen. So anyway, let me just round this up. Regardless of the position that you hold, I feel like, and regardless of what you think about whether or not, all of his business should have been aired out, was it just compared to everyone else? Probably not. But the fact of the matter is, he was a flat-out sleazeball, a slimeball, a total cad, so I'm like, it was still, he still did something bad. Just know that he's going to have a different standard. He's going to actually be held accountable, and other people may not be. That's pretty much it. I said what I said. Go ahead and subscribe because I'm amazing and everybody can do no wrong. All right, later. Black opinionated woman.